On this episode of the No Limits podcast, I had the chance to sit down with Mike Iaconelli, native of Philadelphia, population 2 million, and with Cliff Crochet, native of Pierre Part, Louisiana, population 3,000. They are the bass fishing odd couple, but maybe not as odd as you would suspect. You'll find out about that and a lot more on this episode of the No Limits podcast. So two guys from the most opposite of, I don't know what you call it, cultures exactly, maybe. I mean, guy from Philadelphia, guy from Pierre Part, Louisiana. Did you grow up in that particular town or?
Born and raised.
Born and raised,
Born and raised, never leaving, probably.
I had to look it up. I wasn't sure where exactly it was located, so now I know where it's located. So you're not that far from New Orleans, correct? Like an hour?
I'm about an hour from New Orleans, about an hour from Baton Rouge.
Yeah, so.
Right in the middle.
But here's what I have to say. Are we really that different? Are we really that different? Because I want to make 2 points real quick. Cliff's a good buddy of mine. I know Cliff for a long time.
Yep.
I've spent some time in his town, at his house, with his family. Dude, I love it there.
Yeah.
I feel more at home there than sometimes at home. The other thing I want to mention is that Cliff was at my house, and we saw a Go Devil drive past.
We did.
When you're
in the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere,
Really?
there's a Go Devil in New Jersey.
At a stop sign.
At a stop sign.
Really?
And when you're on the Delaware and some of those canals, you feel like there's Rosa Cane, there's reeds, you feel like you're in Louisiana.
Interesting.
Are we that different?
So yes and no. Very much. Very much different.
That's
and
right.
not at all different.
That's
okay.
right. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of coats in Louisiana. That's the one thing I learned
they don't.
early.
No, we had a good conversation about cool.
Yeah. Yeah, in
You know,
Louisiana,
coat.
where Cliff's from, you have one coat. Explain this.
You get two coats.
Okay.
Let's hear
Right?
it.
You got two coats. So growing up, you got a camouflage coat.
Okay.
And you wear that coat to church, you wear it to hunt, you wear it whatever.
All right.
But you might wear it you just wear it like you might have to wear it one weekend in September. You might not wear it again until December for 2 weeks. You pick it up. So we don't buy coats. You just buy one coat and it's like multi-use. You wear it all the time. That's it. And then when you get to high school, if you play sports, you get a Letterman's jacket.
Jacket, right.
So that's the two coats you get your whole life. And then maybe when you're an adult, you might buy, like a jacket to wear, a coat to wear, whatever. But yeah, we don't buy coats. You get one or two coats your whole life, whatever.
So this thing that you've had to do of coming up north where it's cold, rainy, totally, that's a coat culture shock for you.
It kills me. It kills me. But the way we got on coats at Michael's house one time was I walk in and they got a wall full of coats. I'm like, dude, what's up with this? So they got like brown coats, black coats, matching coats. They got light coats, medium coats. They got heavy coats.
Yeah.
And I was kind of freaked out. I'm like, bro,
a lot of coats.
If we get one coat.
Yeah. A lot of coats. And my wife Becky's obsessed with closets. She has closets for everything. I think you'd say this.
Becky has closets the size of my house.
No, she has closets for everything. So we have a coat closet, we have a linen closet, we have a candle closet. Who in their house has a closet dedicated to candles? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Nobody does that.
That's pretty interesting.
It smells good in there, though.
I'm sure it does, yeah. No candle closets in Louisiana?
No candle closets.
Anywhere probably?
We do at my house, we like candles, but they're expensive. Becky probably got, Barnes and Noble, whatever, Bed Bath and Beyond, whatever the special
Yankee
edition.
or whatever,
Probably on, she's probably a subscriber. They mail her candles every week.
Yeah.
We get them at Walmart. Reduced price once they get on they get on the clearance.
Yeah, I'm in on that. That's right. I think that's just how most dudes buy a candle anyways. If we have to buy a candle, it's just going to be, okay, here it is in Walmart.
It's like the cheapest one.
Yeah.
Sarah come home with like 40 candles. I got them half price. I'm like, perfect.
Stocked up.
And we burn them,
gosh.
Yeah, we don't have a closet for candles. There's no way.
No. What is it that you like about where he lives?
Man, a lot of things. I think I like being away from the hubbub, the hustle of the city. I like that. I like the feeling of community and family. Yeah. Like when I went and hung with Cliff, everybody felt like everybody did know each other.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like, if you're in a bind, everybody's there to help. And I like that it's based around the outdoors.
It really is too.
Hunting, fishing, spending time on the bayou. they have terminology for that stuff, camps and all this stuff. And we don't have that in Jersey, but I like it. I like that. It's really honestly, like I've joked with Cliff. I said, if I ever bought a second place, I would seriously consider.
I like it down there too. I love it down there. I really do.
Yeah, part.
Just the entire that part of Louisiana.
And Louisiana for me in my career has been, dude, it's been the life of my career.
Pretty significant.
Starting at the Red River, winning the Federation Nationals way back in '98 or '99 to the 2003 Classic win. I mean, it's been a special place for me.
Best show you ever filmed, Going Ike?
It's pretty good. Going Ike has the most views of all the Going Ikes.
Best show ever.
I don't know if I've seen that one. Which one is that?
You missing a good one.
It was the first Going Ike we ever filmed. This is back when we kind of didn't know what we were doing. One of the Shryoks, Hunter Shryock, filmed it for us, and we just had a great time. We did some bass fishing, but we got to experience a lot of what I just talked about.
Interesting.
The food, the culture, the Cliff's family.
Michael driving a Go Devil.
I drove a Go Devil.
Really?
I did.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
That's crazy.
I was scared.
I know. I was scared.
You probably need to explain what a Go Devil is to the rest of the country who doesn't have those.
True.
A Go Devil is a mud motor. And it's like a Briggs & Stratton engine on a street shaft, air-cooled street shaft, long shaft. Shaft's probably 4 foot long.
Yeah,
about that, With
a prop on the end of it. It's air-cooled. Used for duck hunting, commercial fishing, and that kind of stuff. But since then, we've moved up in the world. Now we got a gator tail, which is more like it's built more like an outboard. It looks more like an outboard with a tiller handle, air cooled engine on top with a midsection to a lower unit with a prop, mud motor, commercial fishing, duck hunting, that type of stuff. But I don't think Michael drove one of them yet.
No.
You need to get to the gator tail. The gator tail is a lot easier to drive. You ain't got to worry about the weight shifting.
Yeah. So. I was amazed at how shallow those motors run, and that's I was really intrigued by it because dude, in our world we can't get shallow enough with the boats that we run. And when we were running in that show, I was like, we're not going over there. And Cliff said, oh yeah, and I looked down and we were in inches, right?
Yeah,
had to be.
As long as you got slush, you can.
Right.
You can go.
Yeah, pretty amazing.
So, how long have you two known each other? Like, when did you meet? What's the history there?
I've known Cliff for longer than we officially, I feel like, we met for the first time. I think the first time we really met and had a conversation, we were at James Watson's house. I know this sounds weird, but we were at James Watson's house and we were all staying there. We were all crashing. James had like
Watson's
10 of us
crash
there.
pad. Yeah.
And I think that's the first time we really had good conversation. But I had known you before that as well.
That's the first time we probably hung out and shot the breeze. I stole a hat. I didn't steal a hat. I borrowed a hat. Cause I borrow stuff. I take whatever. Like I got an old school Biffle jersey. Old white and blue with the quantum across the.
Making a hat on me.
So I got an old school Biffle jersey.
Yeah.
I got a Mike hat. I collect whatever I can grab. I collect. But that's the first time we hung out. I guess. But shoot, probably 2010 is when I got on the Elite Series, which was scary, man. You don't know about it, so you better shoot the breeze with somebody. Luckily, I didn't get laughed at or kicked out, but probably Watson's house, hanging out with Michael, and then worked together on some Bass University stuff, and just chilling. That's a good thing about fishing, bro. Just chilling, just hanging out.
That's right.
Jersey, Pierre Part, Louisiana. We got California. Cats, it don't matter. Just chilling.
That's right. That's true.
That's what I like about it.
That's true. Nice. What did you think about Jersey? I mean, we had a tournament there a few years back. It was totally different, I'm sure, than what you used to.
It's different. That whole section is different because you're talking about pure city living, panic driving, 7 lanes wide, tolls everywhere.
Oh yeah.
They got 3 bridges, and they talk about this bridge and that bridge, and what's the name of the bridges?
Yeah, I think we have 9.
Many bridges.
9 that just go to Philadelphia.
Yeah, so Mike's like, take this bridge to that, and this. I'm panicked. I got the phone up.
Yeah.
But it was that section was cool. That whole area, because you got, like I said, downtown city, hardcore cement.
Yep.
And then what you don't know is about 15 minutes down the road, you're in the middle of nowhere. So that's cool. That's real cool. You hear like when we went up on the biggest thing was Camden. Don't stop in Camden. You know what I mean? It was like, don't go. You get killed. You get murdered.
Keep going.
Danger.
Yeah, that red danger tape. Don't go there.
Yeah.
But then, like I said, you cross the way in 15 minutes. It's cornfields.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah. So it was.
Well, I mean, what he said is really, I think, the one of the reasons that I've never moved. There's a few. My family's there.
Sure.
You know, there's a lot of connection there. But that's the one thing I do love about where I live is that, you know, where I live, it's the middle of nowhere, dude. It's the country.
It is.
And a short drive away, you know, I have that city environment, which I do like, you know.
Sure.
I do like it in moderation, you know.
Yeah, it's hard to realize that because you fly into Philadelphia, and most of the time people are flying to Philadelphia to get somewhere else.
Right.
And you just don't get exposed to that.
Yeah.
Like when I first came to your house, I was shocked. Like I was shocked that it's like, well, this is like farmland all over.
Philadelphia.
I have no idea.
So you got cement.
Yeah.
Sushi. You got the what's the boat? You had the USS.
Oh, the Battleship New Jersey.
Yeah, the Battleship
New
New Jersey.
Yeah.
You got. I mean, you got it. You got, and then you got the river. You got fishing. We went to a rodeo. I went to a rodeo in New Jersey. How about that?
You did not.
I promise I went to a rodeo in New Jersey.
How about that?
I noticed driving to your house, there are places along the way that are like
it's the
like
old,
a rodeo arenas. Or
yeah, it's called Cowtown. It's in South Jersey. It's not about 15 minutes from where I live.
Yeah.
It's the oldest continually running rodeo in the United States.
That is
Not Texas, not Oklahoma, New Jersey.
That is unbelievable.
Cowtown. Shout out to Cowtown.
Yeah, absolutely. You probably feel right at home here in our
No, I love it here.
in our studio / pool hall /
I used to be a bulldogger.
I like
I used to be a bulldogger. I did all the big ones: Houston, Del Rio, Cheyenne.
You did not.
I did not, but that is a lie. I didn't.
I could see it though. I'm not. I mean, you're
that's
built
a lie.
like a bulldogger.
That's a line off of 8 Seconds. The movie 8 Seconds.
Okay.
I like it. I like that movie. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And on that movie, he
Lane
says, Lane Frost is talking to his buddies. They talking about making money. He says, man, I want the big stuff. Houston, Del Rio, Cheyenne. So anytime rodeo comes up or whatever about horses or rodeo, I jump in and I say Houston, Del Rio, Cheyenne.
Okay. All right.
And now Cowtown.
And now Cowtown.
Good to know.
Angola
Good to know.
Prison Rodeo. Did that one time.
You played football?
Yeah,
Cliff, is that right?
I was supposed to go to the NFL.
Supposed to? According to who?
Supposed
You?
to. Me, but I ended up about 4 inches short and about
Yeah. You're a pretty big dude.
Yeah, I'm getting fat about it. Eh?
No.
No. I back in the day, that was the plan.
Yeah.
When I was way back when, I was supposed to be like this NFL player, and I figured out that it takes a lot.
Yeah.
And then by the time I got to about, I don't know, by the time I was in like 8th grade, I figured this football deal wasn't working out. But I played football a bunch. I thought I was pretty good. I don't know how good I was, but I played from 7 to 17 till I graduated high school. It was probably the biggest disappointment in my life at that time that I couldn't play no more.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
But, well, I had fishing waiting on me.
Yeah, that's right.
I think it's interesting, you know, like where life takes you, you know. You know, even for me, for Cliff, for everybody, you know, it's funny where you end up, you know, where you think you'll end up and where you do end up, you know. Cliff's story is interesting, you know, because, you know, he playing football, then he was a police officer.
You're right. That's right.
And now he's ended up doing something he loves and is passionate about.
Yep.
I love that story. You said something about the typical guy that grows up in Pierre Part, that part of Louisiana, has 2 options, right? The safe one, which is, tell me, you know the safe one, right?
The safe route in Pierre Part?
Yeah.
I'm assuming you go to work.
You go to work, right?
Yeah.
You get your degree. You were talking about the other day.
The safe part is either some type of construction hand. You welding, fitting, electrical. You can go to college if you want. But the safe part is the industry.
Yeah.
Along the Mississippi River, refineries and chemical plants.
Oh, yeah.
So that's probably the safe route.
Get in
that
big paycheck.
That's right.
It's the normal safe route.
Yeah.
But
30 years.
I love that, you know, guys step outside of that and follow their dream, man.
Yeah.
That's a big thing, man.
Yeah.
That's fun. That's fun.
Yeah.
It's scary. It not to go too far off course, but I was lucky that my old man and my mama let me and my brother, or you know, they said you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And my old man he said, all you gotta do is work, just try, you know. Well, I thought he was serious. Yeah, I took him as serious. I don't know if he was serious or not, but I took him as serious. I guess he was.
Yeah.
But the safe route would have been working, like I said, construction, that part, that's normal. Some kind of way I ended up in law enforcement, which was fun for the public service and all, but it wasn't, for me, it wasn't, I wanted to see how far you could push it.
How long did you do that?
Law enforcement?
Yeah.
From October 31st of 2001 until March of 2013.
Oh, wow.
So I started young in a small department. I was 18. And that's probably the best thing I've ever did and the biggest mistake I've ever made.
How so?
And it was good because it forced me to grow up. I mean that's.
Oh yeah.
That's you're playing a big part in people's lives along the way. So I had to grow up and mature. But it was a mistake because I didn't. And I missed a lot of stupid stuff too. I missed a lot of stuff that you should do when you're 18, 19, 20. But that's just the way it works out.
Yep.
But I do know this: some of the time I spent in law enforcement and having to talk to people, and having to be professional, and you got make a lot of mistakes. And you learn what's professional and what's not, and how to do it.
Yep.
I think it's helped me in my professional fishing career, because you kind of know what's acceptable and what's not, and I like to get out of the box as much as I can. I've watched certain people get out of the box and be good at it, and I like getting out of the lines too. But I've also learned when to be professional, I think, or how to be professional. So that's the good thing about my time in law enforcement.
Yeah, so your life and career path have been sort of around and about too, Mike. You went to school for what, marketing? I mean, what was your...
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the professional fishing as a career, I didn't really put it as something that I wanted to do until I was in college. Up to that point, when I was in high school, and we talk about that all the time. Dude, I read the magazines. We had little John boats. Cliff had it too. Little John boats rigged out. I think if you're into fishing and you're into bass fishing, you have that dream like, oh, it would be so cool. But it wasn't a career aspiration until I was in college. I went to Rowan, and I think it was my sophomore year, I entered a tournament as an amateur and did terrible. Finished like bottom of the pack, but I got to fish with my first time ever in a bass boat, first time ever at a major bass tournament. I drew Gary Klein, David Fritz, Cliff Kraft, and who was the last guy? I'm missing somebody important. And another guy. It was a great draw. Tommy Biffle.
Shut up. No way.
Yes. Tommy Biffle was my first day partner. How'd I forget that?
What?
Yes. I drew Tommy Biffle. So here I am. I'm a sophomore, early 20s.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, this is cool. Wow. At the time, it was like $300 to enter, and you got 4 full days to ride with these guys, no matter what. And you had a chance to win a boat. I didn't hardly catch anything because I wasn't that good, and I was really in awe. I was like watching these guys. I'm like, oh my God, I was just learning from these guys and seeing what they do and seeing. It was a great learning aspect. But I do want to tell the Tommy Biffle story. I've told this before. I want to tell it again.
Oh yeah, always ready for those stories.
So I meet Tommy at the meeting, and I didn't know how anything worked. And so I meet him, and he's kind of real short with me, but he's like, just meet me I'm at the Days Inn. Meet me at the Days Inn. 5 o'clock, I'll meet you at Days Inn. I'm like, okay, Days Inn, okay. And no phones back then, I remember, Days Inn. All right, okay, I'm meeting him at Days Inn. So dude, I'm jacked up. I'm excited. Yeah. So I get to the Days Inn at like 4:30. And I'm waiting on him, I drive around, I still don't see him. Like, maybe went and got some breakfast. It's past 5, I still don't see him.
Yeah.
Damn it, I'm like, I go to the front desk and says, Tommy Biffle, you got a Tommy Biffle? No. Is there another Days Inn in Mooresville, North Carolina? Oh yeah, there's 3 more days.
Oh,
yeah. Oh. So dude, I'm in a panic. I'm driving all these details. Make a long story short, finally I go right to the ramp. And literally it's like 10 minutes before blast off, and I jump in his boat. So I think he was probably a little perturbed. I was flustered.
Yeah.
So I get in his boat. I've never went faster. I've never been in anything more than a 20 horsepower at the time. And back then it was a 150. So I get in this boat, dude. I feel like I'm flying. I feel like my face is pushed back.
That slava.
I'm holding on for dear life. And he said, and he talked a little bit more in the morning. He's like, we're going to fish a topwater for a few hours, and then I'm going to foot docks the rest of the day. I'm like, cool. So we rushed down toward the lower end of the lake to this bridge, and he's heading right for the causeway part of it, you know, where the water goes through. And there's a boat sitting on it. And you could see him going that way, and then he sees a boat, and he's like, oh, you can kind of see him grit his teeth, and he's mad. So instead of starting there, he goes all the way to the end of the riprap on the other side. And it's a long, dude, it's like 3/4 of a mile long highway bridge. It's a giant highway bridge. So he goes all the way to the end, he sets down, pulls out his rod. He hadn't made 3 casts. And I'm looking, and that boat that was on that point, I didn't know who it was. He gets on pad and starts coming straight at us. And I thought, that's funny. I wonder why that would happen. And here's this boat, dude, driving straight to us. And I mean, and if you bass fish a lot, and, you know, Cliff and I know this, when you're trying to be a DICK to somebody, you know, you come off pad literally like almost right next to the boat.
Yeah, right on top of them.
So this boat comes off pad, and I look, and it's Denny Brower. Dude, at the time, one of my heroes.
Oh, yeah.
But big, intimidating guy, dude.
Dude, you coming from nowhere, New Jersey.
Yeah. Nowhere, New Jersey.
Jumping a boom.
First tournament ever.
With Tommy.
With the best flipper pitcher in the world. To have the other best flipper pitcher in the world come up to you on pad.
About to get at it.
He comes off pad, and the wake's still coming down on the boat. And, dude, I've heard more curse words in a 60-second span than I've ever heard growing up in Philadelphia. And impressive. He cursed them out. You boop boop. You knew I was boop boop boop. You boop boop. And dude, he ran Tommy Biffle out of there. We left. He said, "Oh, Danny, you went about that. I'll just leave. And dude, we left. We left and went to a different bridge. And that was my introduction to bass fishing right there.
That probably changed him. That probably changed him right that very minute there.
But I mean, I learned a lot right there. I learned about there's intimidation. There's you know gray areas, what you do and don't. That was my introduction to the sport.
Even.
But that was my first tournament. I bombed. The very next year, I drew in another tournament on the same place, Lake Norman, in 1994, and this time I won. I went from finishing bottom of the pack to winning. And at that moment, when I won, I'm a junior in college. I won a $23,000 fully rigged bass boat. More money than I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, hold on, I don't mean to cut you off. I've heard this story before. The next 2 to 3 years that nobody knows about is the best part of the whole story. Besides the Red River, and like we all know the Red River and Mike and Rodney Wagling and Mike in the Classic and in New Orleans. Everybody knows that story. There's a 2 or 3 year gap, I guess, between that tournament and before the world knows Mike.
There's about a 4 year gap, but it was a life changing moment for me because at that moment I'm like, where I finished in the standings, I would have been in the 20s on the pro side, and I just thought to myself, man, this is something I'm okay. I can think I could do this. I said, let me finish my degree, and I'm gonna try it. It literally at that moment I said, that's what I want to do. Dude, I was so excited I got home. I slept in that boat that night. When I drove home from North Carolina, I slept in that boat that night. And, you know, there was a lot of people saying, get rid of it. You know, here's $23,000. You can pay your student loans. You can, as a college student, it's a lot of money. Dude, there was no way I was getting rid of that boat. There was no way. I mean, and for the next 4 years, dude, I did everything I could do climbing the ladder, which was grassroots, which was state and local federation, BASS federation terms. It was Redman's. It was, all that stuff. Learning. And it's funny because I stunk. Like first year fishing federation, I didn't catch crap. The next year, I started catching limits. The next year, I started winning. It's like it all happened for me in that stair step fashion. It never, it was never, man, I 10 years old, this is what I'm doing and that's it. It was sort of gradual, and things have to happen at the right time. Cliff can tell you.
That's right.
Cliff's big win came at a big, I think that was a big moment for you. But I think for everybody in their life, they have these moments that if it didn't happen that way,
that's right.
Life changes.
Totally different.
Life changes,
Timing in life defines a lot of things that you do.
That's scary.
It really does.
That's scary if you think about it. If you look back and you say, man, that wouldn't have happened. That was a fork in the road. That the other fork would have went here. That's It's scary to look back.
Talk about the fisheries that you guys first fished for bass in, like where you spent some time fishing for bass.
I know where Cliff spent his time fishing for bass because I've seen it.
The first time, tell you the story, quick version of it. So my old man would take me and my brother fishing, in the summertime. We had a camp in a spillway, but we were normal. My man was a normal hand. He wasn't no tournament fisherman. He had 2 or 3 rods. At that time, he had a plain old box, and he would bring his 2 young sons fishing. Why he didn't kill us, I don't know, because it probably wasn't no fun for him. But anyway, so all I knew is you went fishing in the summertime, and it was cool. My brother's 6 years older than me. As a teenager, South Louisiana, you get a boat, you go fishing. That's what you do. That's just par for the course. So I say sometimes, thank God my brother went fishing in the afternoon and he wasn't drinking and doing drugs, because I'd just followed him because I thought that was cool. Whatever he does was cool. So went fishing. But dude, this was basic fishing. There was no. The biggest thing at that time was watching Bassmaster in the morning. You know what I mean? Saturday morning. But there was no tournament fishing. We didn't know who Denny was. We didn't know.
Yeah.
We were just fishing.
Yep.
So, but when it really got going, I remember this like it was yesterday. My 3-wheeler broke in the afternoon, and I went in my daddy's shed and got it was a Red Ambassador 5500, which was a Cadillac at the time, 5'6" Bass Pro Shots Pro Comp 2 rod, and I live in a little neighborhood, and there's a bayou right in front that runs right through Pierre Park.
Yeah.
So I went, got a rod, went to the bulkhead in front of these people's house, went to fishing, caught like a 12-incher, ran home, put it in a bucket to show my dad when he got home from work, because I had caught a bass, which was like, it was like a trophy fish, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that happened that afternoon. The next day, I used to ride my bike to school. Well, between my house and the school was a bait shop, baitside tackle that my buddy Winston owns. Irv, you met Irv? Irv is a big part of the store. I can tell you another day. But anyway, stopped at the tackle shop for 5 minutes that day, 10 minutes the next day. Ended up hanging out there for the rest of my life.
Still going.
But the water that I started fishing on and learning on was Lake Verret, which is it's north of Bayou Black. It's kind of Louisiana Delta, north end of Louisiana Delta, I guess. Yeah. But that's where I was real lucky, because I grew up on the water. I mean, probably 300 yards from my front door was water I could fish in.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I didn't have to go to the lake. I didn't have to plan. I lived on it. So
it's part of your everyday life.
Lake Verret is where I learned to bass fish.
That's cool. Yours was a little less available.
Yeah, it was a little less available. Mine was, I got lucky because my uncle and my grandfather they fished. That's what they did. And they weren't bass fishermen. You know, like Cliff said, it was very simple fishing. It was whatever they caught. It was mainly trout and panfish. But my summers, from as early as I can remember, every summer we'd go to the Poconos. And in the Philadelphia area, the Poconos is like the getaway. Yeah. It's 3 hours north in the Pennsylvania mountains. And just fished lakes around there as a kid. And I, it was a while before I caught my first bass. But, just really learning to fish there, and then coming back from that vacation every year, that 7-day vacation, and then trying to find water around the house. Yeah. And that was a lot of that, you hear people say, city fishing, urban fishing, street fishing. I did a lot of that, and it was what we had. Yeah. It was what we had available.
He was looking for water. I was living on an island, physically living on an island.
That's crazy. Yeah, interesting.
But I talking about learning to fish and being a youngster or whatever. There's certain fish I remember, I remember catching that fish. Yeah. On that day, and I probably caught 1,000 cents. But there's probably 4 or 5 that I remember.
Really
catching that one.
Yeah, really. That's interesting. For what reasons? Just various reasons.
I don't know. I don't know why. I just remember certain ones, and I think sometimes you catch certain fish, and that fish is almost like the step to the next level. Yeah. Because you saw that current ripping around that rock, so you threw a spinnerbait because the current, something maybe clicked or whatever. But there's a couple fish that I remember catching. It was I don't know why, but those fish are awesome.
Did you guys ever have a moment where you thought to yourself, "Man, I'm really getting this. I'm really getting this bass thing"?
I remember feeling progress at a time or two, but I feel as far behind at 35 as I did at 15. I'm always I'm always catching up.
I mean, for me, the minute that not necessarily, again, not that I knew then I was going to tournament fish, but the minute it clicked for me was when, I started putting reasons to why I caught the fish.
Right.
Now, I distinctly remember as a kid fishing and just being like, today was a lucky day. Today was an unlucky day. But then later you would get to, like Cliff said, you'd get to saying, well, there's the reason I caught it. And then you start to predict and you start to understand the puzzle. That's next level fishing,
right.
And when you start that process early, you're more inclined to get to this level.
Talking about the pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah.
I don't know about Mike. When I started, there was 1 million pieces. There's still 1 million. I don't have the corners of the puzzle built out yet.
Oh, is that right? Still working on the corners? On the edges?
I'm still trying to find all the pieces. I'm still trying to turn them right side up.
Yeah.
I guess that's just fishing. I don't know. Maybe y'all got it figured out. I'm still.
It's neat to see it, but I think you have to have something innate to be a good angler, whether you're a great angler that recreational fishes or a pro. There is something innate that you have to have that all 80 of the guys in Major League Fishing have. They all have it. And best way I can describe it is, now I get to watch it with my son with Vegas.
Right.
And watching him on the water and like Cliff and I could watch him and be like, we could see it. Vegas will pull up on the bait, soft stick bait, throws it out there, and he pulls up, and just something doesn't feel right. It just feels weird. Like, he gets that at 8.
That's crazy.
That's a very hard thing to teach.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's.
But when you see it, like, it surprises me. I'll sit in the back of the boat and just watch him fish, and I'm like, how does he? Because I didn't teach him that. How is he doing that at 8? And he knows to cast at the weird spots at the cover. A row of lily pads, but there's one spot that juts out. There's a whole. He knows that at 8. That's a very, very hard thing to teach.
It's like somebody who picks up a guitar and can play a little bit.
Yeah.
And just
I think all 80 guys at MLF have that innate ability. To some extent.
79, and one's just lucky to be around.
You're just feeling bad because of your last time on the water. That's all. That's all.
No,
it's one bad day.
I'm telling you, talking about the competition, all 80. Talking about the 80 people that are here. But these dudes are killers. They are athletic. Savage, fishermen that work hard and extremely talented, and so I've had 2 bad tournaments in a row. When we get there next year, it wouldn't surprise me or anybody if I put a DDT on everybody and I went by 20 pounds. It's like,
wouldn't surprise anybody. Absolutely not.
It
shouldn't surprise anybody.
Mike caught 98 pounds this week.
Yeah,
at Table Rock, dude couldn't jump in the water if he couldn't fall in the water if he jumped off his board. It's weird. It's just to see all 80, bro. All 80.
Yeah.
Talking about all 80 got it.
Yeah.
And when one of them, get hot, you just hope it's you, because somebody's coming.
That's truth. It's truth. It's funny you mentioned the athletic thing. Like until you're around you guys as a group, it's hard to understand just how much like physical athleticism there is in this field. Like, it's like when I practiced with you in South Dakota, like I was amazed at how much you work during the course of a day. And it was a practice day. Yeah. And you were, this dude, it was insane. Like, I would be asleep for 2 days if I moved like him through the course of the day. And so the day that you had yesterday, where you were back and forth and back, caught fish all day long. Yeah. But it's like an athletic feat to be able to do that for the length of time you guys do it. Yeah. It's crazy.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I mean, when you watch MLF Live, you get a feeling for, all the physical part of it, the casting, the lifting up the trolling motor, the digging for baits. And then you throw in the mental side to that. It's exhausting. Dude. It's exhausting. But, when you're on that strategy where you're running and gunning and you're pattern fishing, dude, it's the most physical thing. Yesterday I was on that deal where, you can run down a bank and look at it and be like, that's the deal. And then you can just run. Yeah. The Delaware River tournament I won 4 or 5 years ago. Dude, my goal was to hit 80 spots in a day. And I could only get, I got like 50 in a day. 50 to 60, but my goal was to hit 80 spots a day, and I couldn't physically do 80, but I wanted to hit 80, and yesterday I think I ran a good 40, right, 30 or 40 spots yesterday, but when you're running that pattern, dude, I was exhausted. Oh yeah. Yeah. It felt like you were in a marathon or street fight, or both.
Running and gunning is hard. Yeah. But I personally do a lot more grinding in areas. And that kills you. Not so much physically, but in your mind.
Absolutely. Yeah.
you're like, God, it's just a grind to make something happen because it's slow and steady and in and out and go and then you catch one. Even if you catch one every 15 minutes, it's still a grind because you're almost trying to devastate an area. When you go through that area, you want it to be empty.
Yeah.
And to try to catch every single one, oh my God.
Yeah.
It sounds funny. It sounds like you're crazy, but it's...
Cliff, I need to put you on the spot real quick because I just thought of something as you were talking. Where did you catch him at Chickamauga?
Chickamauga?
Did you catch him in that place that I saw you or somewhere else?
No, I caught him in that place.
The place where I saw you in practice?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
In the back. I tell you, because when you look at it.
Yeah.
And I'll actually...
I knew that spot had potential.
So when you get to the back, that spot goes to the back.
It dead ends and turns right into that
check
pocket.
this out. Let me tell you the story. Where it dead ends, there's a little shelf. Yeah. Remember where we caught them down there where we filmed?
Yeah.
In that bayou?
Yeah.
And we got to the point where it ended?
Yeah.
That's what I could see. It was a perfect translation from my house to there. So you had a bayou that came in, I don't know, bayou, creek, bay, what you want to call it, whatever. And at the end of it, there was underwater, it was a dead end, and then it made a little shelf up, and then it went onto this flat for another whatever. What happened was in practice, I caught a big gizzard back there. I had like 2 bites, and I caught a big gizzard. So I knew that stopping point would be, I don't know, this is the last spawning spot or whatever strategy was. It's like a funnel.
Yeah.
So I knew that would be a deal. And then I went in that pocket and caught a couple. And that's where Andy won at, if you didn't know. But so that morning I go and I start throwing. I catch that gizzard, and I catch a 5 and a 3, and a couple small ones, and I start going across that break.
Yeah.
And I make a long cast, and I catch one. And I catch another one. I drop the poles, and then it was on. For like the next 30-something casts, I caught one between 5 pounds and a pound.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was the best thing in the world.
Yep.
Cool spot.
Yep.
And it played out on me. I think those fish were moving.
Yeah. It played out and it was getting hit by another angler. I don't know if you knew that. I found that out later after the tournament too. So that's one of the beauties of Major League Fishing, is when we're in these two groups, you don't know what's happening, right?
Who else hit it?
Aaron Martins.
On that point?
Yep.
And he caught him.
He caught the crap out of him.
Yep.
It was the first I heard that.
Yeah. I found out after the tournament was over.
So that's why when I got back the next day, I caught 12 pounds to get into. I caught 12 pounds in like 12 minutes.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the same.
Different. Yep.
Because Aaron had caught
like 80 pounds from there. So whatever he caught, I think he won or came in second in his round.
I had like 60.
Yeah.
I had like 68 pounds.
He bailed on him there the second day. And so you guys were beating up, but that is strategy. It's part of Major League Fishing. And we don't know. We don't know because we don't watch live. I don't know.
What's the cool thing about Major League Fishing is when we fished traditional fire fish tournaments, you knew going in. You generally had a thought that you knew 13 pounds a day would get paid.
That's right. Yep.
Well, now you're trying to figure out, like Chickamauga, you figure it was 70 pounds.
Yeah.
And I think it was about 70. So you look at fire fish results.
Yep.
So if it takes 25 to win at Chickamauga, for example, you figure he caught 25 pounds with his best 5. Then he probably caught another 15 2-pounders or so that he carved through. So that's 30 plus 25. That's 55. It's a whole new formula.
Oh yeah.
It's a game.
Yeah. Are you guys used to it yet? That particular mental drain.
It's I didn't think so at the beginning of the year, but that number. So like here, I think the weight was 52 something. That number is intimidating. That 52 pounds for 2 days, even though they all count, is just as intimidating, if not more than 14 pounds or 15 pounds, whatever that fire fish limit is, because now you have to catch all of them. You can't get by with catching 5 good ones. You got to catch 5 good ones and a bunch of them.
That's right.
Yep. And I like both formats. I don't know, I'm not saying one's better than the other, whatever, but I didn't realize that total number, that 50 pounds, 52 pounds on Lake Winnebago would be just as intimidating as 17 pounds would be on a 5 fish.
Well, and we're just learning too. Like when we started out in Kissimmee, we asked, like, oh, what do you think is going to be what's going to be the new norm? I don't know what, 50, 60, 70, who knows exactly. We still don't know. We just came off of a fishery where 100 pounds in a day. I mean, who knows really what the standard is now.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see going forward how people play the game different.
Mm-hmm.
So like, so far this year we've seen the finesse game show up and kind of take charge. There will be a point in time when we get to places that spinning rod and whacking worm is going to get you beat like a drum.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be 60-pound braid slinging 5-pounders off the deck. And so it's going to be fun to see when and where that happens.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait. I think it's going to be awesome.
Very interesting.
It is.
No, it was on Ike Live, right? So coming up, I'm watching it. So it's about the big decision.
Oh, dude.
You know, who's going where, this and that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I talked to Michael. I'm like, Michael, where you going? He's like, I don't know. You know, he beat around the bush. And I know he's lying. And I think I know what he's going to do, but he wouldn't say nothing. So I'm like, all right, whatever. That's cool. So he's like, I'm announcing on Ike Live, 7 o'clock.
That's right.
Big announcement.
Big announcement. Folks at home, I'm all, you know. Let's see what Michael does.
Mm-hmm.
So I click it like 7:02. He's talking his whatever, him and Pete. And I don't watch the whole thing, but I click on it and check on it every now and then. It's like 2 o'clock. Michael gets done shut down that. Now he's on Facebook Live. I'm waiting on that. So anyway, I stayed up way longer than I wanted to, waiting to see what this dude was gonna do. But I didn't give him all my minutes. I just clicked for I give him about a minute at a time.
A little bit here, a little bit there. Yeah.
God, I wanted to kill him the next morning.
I made the announcement. We had technical difficulty.
Imagine that.
It's funny how that
Point
works.
of the announcement.
It's funny how that works.
Imagine that. Black screen. I wanted to kill him. I wanted to kill him. I wanted to kill Brian. I wanted to kill all of them.
Yeah. I wonder how many phone calls there were in the next half hour. Are you effing kidding me?
Oh, yeah.
I bet there's a bunch. Yeah.
We had a lot of mad fans as well.
Yeah.
They got over it.
Mad fans are engaged fans. Yeah. Yeah. What Howard Stern say? People who like you listen for an hour. The people who hate you listen for 2 hours.
There you go.
Yeah, you know.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah. What about this podcast thing that you started a few years ago? Like, I hear what you're doing, a new studio. What's the latest on that?
Podcasting's great. It's exactly what we're doing here.
Yeah.
It's a great way to reach people.
Mm-hmm.
And when we started, I think Ike Live now has gone on, I want to say 6 years, going on 6 years of podcasting with Ike Live. When we started it, literally our executive producer, Mark Jeffries, had to talk us into doing it, from the standpoint that we're like, what is podcasting? Like, what's it?
Yeah.
But he talked us into it based on it was a way to reach fans, to connect with fans on a more personal level. And I'm like, man, we're missing that. Social media connects you with your fans, but there's a wall there. And this was a way to connect with fans, to take callers, to take Skype guests, to have everything live, to really, interact with your fans real time. So I'm like, let's try it. I want to do it. Let's try it. It'll be, let's give it a shot. And all these years later, it turned into something really amazing.
Yeah, it's a thing now. Yeah,
it's a great thing. It's not only fun, great chance to learn about people outside of the fishing technique box.
Yep.
But it's a great business for us now. It's actually grown into a business.
Yeah.
I get as many people now come up to me at tournaments that are fans of Ike Live, as fans of MLF or fans of Going Ike.
Oh, yeah.
The old City Limits. I have as many people now saying, man, I love the show. And I'm kind of like, what show? Because I want to see what they say. And a lot of them are Ike Live fans.
Yeah.
And we keep our formula real simple.
Yeah.
We talk fishing, we drink beer, and we don't make fun of anybody. We make fun of everybody.
That's right. That's
so
right.
If you're okay with those three things, then you'll love the show.
Yeah.
That show is fun to be on.
I'm sure it is. Yeah.
I've been on a couple times. Kind of invited myself on a time or two. But it's fun. You don't know what's coming. You don't know what's coming. It's supposed to be this deal, and you end up. It's supposed to be this, and then you end up over here just hanging out.
It's interesting how people respond in that situation too. Like for instance, you did the deal with Morgan. You did the goat sound and the goat stuff. And Morgan thought it was hilarious. Like you would just never get. I mean, you would never know how somebody's going to respond to that situation.
We've had. Again, I think everyone knows we're having fun and we're not trying to hurt anybody, but we like to have fun with people.
Yep.
But we've done some borderline ones that I think people were thrown off by. interviewing Jordan Lee, having Matt Lee on in the studio that wasn't really Matt, and that was a funny one. We had Wesley Strader on and did a whole thing with the Beverly Hillbillies question. I think they was mad at that. We did a lie detector test with Jacob Wheeler. He was really mad at that. I mean, there are things, but again, it's all in fun, and we bust on ourselves just as much as we bust on people. So I hope everybody knows it's just in fun.
Do you have any guests who you've not gotten who you would really like to get?
Yeah, a lot of the older veterans. I really Bill Dance is a guy I want to have on so bad, and we've been close to having him on. In studio or Skype. I would love to have him.
Skype would be cool, but in studio would be.
I'd say the veterans of the sport, and some athletes I'd still love to have on. Mike Trout, we've been close to getting a few times. He's local. He only lives about 15 minutes from the house. There are a lot of athletes that love fishing.
Absolutely.
And I'd love to get more of those guys on the show, talk to them about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I lost my train of thought. What was I going to ask you?
I messed you up.
Time for a break.
Ring the cowbell, Cliff.
That's right.
Right there.
That's right.
We need more cowbell.
Yeah, if you're a rodeo guy. That one got crushed. Yeah, it's not going to work.
Put some light on the subject. There's cowbell. More cowbell, please.
There you go. I asked you this before the season started. I've not asked you this. Where would you like to see this tour reach as far as locations? Like
are there locations?
Yeah, where would you go? Where would you like to fish? Like I know because we're at the time of this taping, we're in kind of that process of sorting out where exactly we're going to go.
Yeah.
Where would you love to go, and for what reasons?
I don't know where I want to go.
Really?
One thing that stood out to me this year that I really liked was North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mm-hmm. North Carolina. Yes. And the reason why I say I don't know where I want to go is because I don't know where they at.
That's a good point.
But the North Carolina tournament was a good link. Mm-hmm. There's a couple in Louisiana that Major League Fishing has fished before, Lake Bruin and the Oxbow lakes. Mm-hmm. I'd like to go to places that are not traditional tournament lakes that we can take advantage of because of the size of our field.
I'd agree.
That we could go to and really let it eat. Some good places that have fish. So if Mike wants to 6-pound finesse fish, he can do that. And if I want to throw 50-pound braid to, you can really get after it and dig into it. Yeah. And not traditional places because that's fun and we enjoy it, but that's been done before. And since we changing everything and really taking a step to do things different, let's throw everything away and go where we've never been before.
I'd agree. I think Major League Fishing is based off of the principles. We're starting this thing based off some different things. One principle is an even playing field. And to me, when we go to a place, North Carolina is a great example. No history for the most part.
No.
Blank
Very
slate. It's you against the fish, like we have here in Wisconsin this week, right?
Yep.
I enjoy those fisheries. I think to me that's pure fishing.
Yep.
So I'd like to see more unknown places, more places off the beaten path. I'll take it a step further and I'll say I really enjoy the cups because there's no practice.
Yeah.
I know there's going to be a lot of people that fish Major League Fishing right now listen to this that are not going to like this, but there are a few guys that will. Shaw Grisby, I know, is one of them. I'd like to see these things turn into events with no practice at one point.
I'm a practice.
Yeah,
I'm a practice coach.
Cliff's the opposite.
Yeah.
But I like to get out there and fish the moment, fish what you see, that learning process that happens. I like to see that. To me, that's the purest form of fishing. So, and I also like the tournaments this year. We had different strategies. We had fish, all the days on one body of water, and then we had other ones where all the days on one body of water in qualifying, and then the third and fourth round in another
somewhere else, just like here. Yeah,
I like that formula. I like the formula where you have a qualifying lake or two qualifying lakes, and you save a lake for the end that no one has fished. Right. This week in Wisconsin, there's Green Lake that 10 guys will make it to Green Lake that have never made a cast on the lake ever.
Did you ride around?
I did ride around, and I love that. I love
absolutely.
that.
I think most guys do.
I'd like to see MLF go to that format for all 8 BPT events.
I would tell you what I do like that we have going on is we have a lot of bass fishing has a lot of tradition, and we've always done things. And Major League Fishing we can change it and tweak it to what we think is to make it better.
Yeah.
So you're looking at different lakes. You're looking at obviously a different format. We can change practice or no practice. We can tweak it to what we think might be different or better. And I like that.
What did you guys think of the noon to 8 thing? I mean, notwithstanding that you didn't like the fishery that much, but I mean the time itself. What did you think of that?
I battle with the noon to 8 because there are a few inherent flaws with it. The one flaw with it from the fishing perspective, right? So that decision was based a little off of the numbers that came back, right? There's more people out of work. There's more time to, and that's an important part of growing a business. I get that. But from a fishing perspective, there are flaws built into it. The one is, when you have summertime events and you go to a 12 to 8 on a Saturday or a Sunday, you're at literally the worst time of the day on any lake you could be at in the country from the standpoint of boat traffic. It's a problem from the fishing side of it, the safety side of it. The other problem is what happened to me at Table Rock, and I'm still pissed off about it, and I'll talk about it, which is when you have a 12 to 8 and you have a delay for whatever reason, score tracker is messed up, a guy's ejected out of a boat, there's a rainstorm going on, and the rain's too heavy. Whatever the reason is, you have a delay. There's no time to make it up at the end.
No, that's true.
Once again, my big thing in Major League Fishing, let's make an even playing field. Well, that really that breaks that formula, and it's not an even playing field anymore when one round gets the whole time and the next round doesn't. So I don't like the 12 to 8. I think you've got to build in. You've at least got to build in a safety net.
So check this out. So the 12 to 8 may or may not be the deal, and I get some of what Mike was saying. I get it. But going back to what I said before, we can tweak and do what we want. Maybe 10 to 6. Traditional is daylight to 3 or daylight to whatever. And that's cool. We love it. I think we need that sometimes. But also, I think if we can go 10 to 6 or whatever the deal may be to tweak it or make it better for more numbers and just to change it up, I like it. Now, I do think we've been through some experiences that
we have for sure
that we can get better at. And I hope. And I really think that we can.
First time through a lot of this stuff. Like a lot.
I think we can get through and learn from it, and what we did right and what needs to be fixed. But like the time, different lakes and the times, and that stuff. I think that's all positive and
it's all
good stuff.
It's all positive. My big hope for Major League Fishing is that the anglers take ownership and responsibility of it, and not let it go back to the organization. All 80 guys have a goal to grow the sport, and I want that to be at the forefront of every decision that's made. I really do. And it's so important for the anglers, for all of us, to just say, hey guys, we're the body of professional anglers. We're the reason that everybody's here. Let's look out for ourselves. And when that starts getting taken away, that worries me. That bothers me. It's happened in other leagues we fished in, and I don't ever want it to happen here.
The good thing with what he's saying is that it's us. We are.
We
are them. We are us now. So if we need to be able, we need to be able to drive the train, and they've letting us drive the train. We got to do a good job of.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. So by the time this is aired, is seen, it'll be off season. So that's the time when all the things that you're talking about should happen, right? It'll be an interesting off season for sure.
It's going to be a great off season because we had a meeting this week, our last official event, and it was brought up that hey, over the next 3 or 4 months in the fall, we've all got to put our ideas and input, and that's all I ever wanted is everyone to have a voice. Don't be quiet, man. Have a voice, have an opinion. Because that matters,
What I like about it is we've made mistakes. Dude, I mean, if this would have went perfect, there's no, you can't. Nothing would have went perfect. I think it's going pretty well. But the mistakes that we've made and the things that we've
you can come over, Becky.
We've learned.
Becky, come on. No, that's all right. We do things real here. Welcome to our rodeo museum.
No, I don't want a chair.
You had a jog and you jogged here.
I jogged here.
Wow.
Yeah.
You
It's
are
just
shiny.
it's an aspect of Ike Live. It's real. You don't.
That's right.
See, you don't ever know what's going on.
Yeah.
Bam, here
That's
we
right.
go.
Yeah,
Throw
we
Mike on the
don't
never
even
know.
care if people walk through the cameras. People
No,
walk through the cameras.
no. I mean, why?
We do that all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
People burp,
Oh, yeah.
fart. It doesn't matter.
No, it's true.
We like it all. We like that real
right.
aspect of it, you know. If you want to burp or fart right now, go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna bow out now.
Okay.
This is the first time in like 10 years I've ever seen an Iaconelli like shot down.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. Fire
Well,
stat.
Hey, that is history. That's the
Yeah.
first time you've ever seen an Iaconelli like get embarrassed or freak out.
crazy.
Yeah, I didn't think that could happen.
I know. I don't know.
We're gonna end this on like a question that I ask pretty much every time. You guys know the game Jenga, right?
Yes.
Pull a piece out.
Yeah.
Pull a piece out. So fishing Jenga. If you had the opportunity to assess all of Mike's things that make him who he is as an angler, and you were to reach in and pick out one piece, one skill, one aspect, whatever it is, to make it your own, what would that be? And if you want to reverse, if you want to answer first, or you want to think
One
about
thing I
it,
could take from Michael.
yeah, that's right. One thing you reach in. That's the Iaconelli Jenga
man.
stack.
I'm gonna take two. Okay. I'm gonna take two.
All right.
Michael is
Yeah.
I'm gonna take two. Michael's a good fisherman. Michael do like looks and breaks down water real well
Yeah.
and attacks. He don't go down the bank throwing a spinnerbait hoping
Yeah.
to find him. He's like water's falling, blue skies, muddy water.
Yeah.
Does that real well. So I would take that from him. And two, I don't know if, because I have a lot of it myself, but you can never have enough, is emotion, excitement. I'd take that. You gotta have that. Emotion is good.
Yeah.
I have a lot of it. Sometimes I show it, sometimes I don't. I try to hide the stuff that I don't think needs to come out, but I like emotion. I would take Michael's emotion.
He's got plenty of it. He's got plenty of it to spare. So it's
Emotion and passion, dude. That's fun
Yeah.
to see. It's fun to see. And it's fun when it gets to come out too.
Yeah, good choices.
Well,
So what are you
well, he did two pieces. I got to
Oh, you go
pull
ahead.
two
You
pieces
can
now.
pull two as well. Yep.
The first one is something that is I've watched Cliff for a lot of years now fish, and he knows this is a big strength of his, and it's opposite of what I like to do, and I'm not very good at what he does great, which is he calls it grinding in an area, camping out, setting up shop, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
He's so good at that, like picking one spot and staying. I can't do that.
No.
It kills me to do that. So I want that. I'd like to have that.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I know Cliff has is he has extreme confidence. When he believes that's the deal, he believes it. And frog fishing is a great example.
Yeah.
Like his confidence in a frog is tremendous.
Yep.
I'd say Ish is the only other dude I know that when he throws it, he just knows
he's gonna catch him.
He
Yep.
knows he's going to catch him.
Yep.
He knows the bite. He knows the cast. I don't have that with a frog or other techniques like that confidence, you know. For me, it's like most of the time I look at Cliff's deck, he's got 2 to 4 rods out. For me, in a normal tournament, I've got 10 or 12 at a low amount, and probably more like 18 to 20.
Yeah, if I could do some of that.
Yeah, so I'd like to have that utmost confidence in a bait, you know, like a frog, where he just go in and you're like, nope, this is the deal. This is how I'm going to catch him, and you believe it. You know?
Sounds really cool, but that's also how I've bought my house, and I've almost lost my house because of that.
He's bought and lost his house twice.
That's
with
right.
That
That's
technique.
True story.
Oh, great. Dude. It's been great to have you guys here. Really appreciate it. I think this is obviously going to continue again. I mean, we can't do this just one time. We'll talk a little bit more about the culture of Jersey versus the culture of Louisiana. Appreciate you guys coming here. Appreciate it.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
It was awesome.